What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Fireside Rangers. I'm your host, Eric Wilson. Today, joined by my co-host, Will Cohen. Today, the NHL free agency market opened up. The Rangers made an immediate splash by signing Vladislav Gavrikov to a 7-year contract. We all knew it was coming. The worst kept secret in the NHL. Probably some tampering involved, but who cares? We got our guy. We're going to break that down today in this episode. Full transparency. I also just want to point out, we are aware of some other things going on in Rangers land at the moment. The Rangers are working on a trade to send Keandre Miller to the Hurricanes. Obviously, Will Cooley is still a restricted free agent. We don't know if he's going to resign or be offer sheeted or what's what. But as of right now, the only thing that has been made official is the Gavrikov signing. So unless during the recording of this episode, the Miller trade goes through and we get the details, or a Cooley signing happens, we're going to stick primarily to Gavrikov. But who knows, maybe you'll have our live reaction to a trade or something cool go through, but we'll see. But as far as Gavrikov goes, we're going to break down that contract, give our first reactions to it, and how we feel about it and what it means for the Rangers. So we're going to get right onto that. But before we do, make sure you guys like, subscribe, ring that bell so you miss notification. Be sure to leave your thoughts on the signing down in the comment section below. And be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Fireside Rangers. But Will, my friend, how are you doing today? And what's your initial reaction to the Gavrikov signing?
My official reaction was that's a really good deal, especially the day after Provorov signs for 8.5. People thought that Gavrikov, who is a better defenseman, was going to sign for maybe north of 9, and you still get him for 7. And he left money on the table from other teams to sign with the Rangers. So it was a really good deal. And his cap is now, where the value of the contract is going to decrease every single year until the end of his contract. Next year, it's not even going to be in 7 because of the if the cap when the cap goes up. So the Rangers and Chris Drury did a really good job on this deal, and it was a pretty horribly kept secret. I mean, we've known this for about not a month, but about 3 weeks that he was going to sign with the Rangers. But after Provorov signed for 8.5 yesterday, everyone thought that it was going to be for north of 9. The Rangers weren't going to do it, and then contract comes out today at 7.7. Chris Drury did a really good job. I'm not really a big Chris Drury fan. I think there's more bad he's done good, but you got to give him his flowers for this. You can't be mad about this contract. He's the best defenseman, the best left-handed defenseman they're going to have since Ryan McDonough left. So Fox's best partner he's ever played with as a Ranger. So Chris Drury did a really good job on this. I couldn't have been more shocked that it was a 7x7.
Yeah, I realized in the intro, all I mentioned was that it was a 7-year contract. So I'm glad that you brought up the cap hit. 7x7, 7 years long, 7 million average annual value. I'm like you said, I'm shocked. He definitely left money out on the table. There were 100% other teams out there willing to pay him more than that, especially with the market that we're looking at. That Provorov one, like you said, scared me, because there's no way in this world that Provorov deserves that much money, and Gavrikov is better than him.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought we were going to be financially screwed after this signing, even though I still would have supported it. But shout out Gavrikov, leaving money out on the table to come play for the Rangers really shows that he really wanted to be a part of the New York Rangers. Further breaking down the contract, the first 5 years, years 1 through 5, come with a full no movement clause. Year 6 comes with a 20-team no trade clause. And year 7, the final year of the contract, comes with a 15-team no trade clause. And when I first saw that, I just told Will right before we started recording, I was like, of course, here comes Drury handing out the no movement clauses again, like he always likes to do. That kind of screws us later on down the road. But Will, you made a valid point. One, the fact that Gavrikov left money on the table to come play for us, I feel like he deserves some sort of incentive other than money to come play for the Rangers. And also the fact that when you look at the structural breakdown of the contract, it's not like Mika Zibanejad where he's making an exact $8 million every single year of his contract. This contract is more front heavy. He's making the most money out of the contract in the earlier years. And then later on, it dwindles and dwindles less in value. So later on, when we get to years 5 through 7, if we are looking to move Gavrikov and his play has declined in his old age, because he will be 36 by the time this contract ends, it shouldn't be as hard because the value isn't going to be truly $7 million. It's going to be something significantly less than that. So I will say, even though upon first glance the clauses and everything do appear scary, I think it is overall justified for the player we're getting, the market in which we got him, and how much we're going to pay him less than another team would have. So I like it. I'm going to give it, just financially and contractually, an A plus. I feel like this is one of the best moves Drury has ever made in his career as general manager of the New York Rangers. But outside of finances and all the contracts and all that stuff, let's talk about the type of player that Gavrikov is. You mentioned, Will, in your initial reaction, that he is going to be the best defensive partner that Adam Fox has ever played with. I would like you to talk to me about Gavrikov, his play style, and tell me why you think that's going to be the case.
Gavrikov has such an active stick in his own zone. I mean, he's always looking to poke pucks. Well, see, I really haven't watched a lot of Gavrikov, but from the highlights, I mean, yeah, he keeps an active stick. I mean, yeah, I think he was top five in takeaways. And correct me if I'm wrong on that. If you know, top five in takeaways, uh, in the NHL this year for defensemen. I mean, he's always looking to take pucks off guys' sticks. He takes good routes to the pucks. Hounds guys. I mean, I'm kind of sounding like very, cliche, but um, he's super active in his own zone, and he's just always hounding guys that have the pucks, that have a puck on their stick, the puck on their stick. So yeah, I mean, super active, moves well. I wouldn't say moves well, actually. He's moves all right, but is consistently hounding guys in his own zone, always taking great angles to pucks. I mean, he picks guys' pockets like no one else in this league does. He's a very, I mean, it's crazy the gap of his defensive play from any other person on the Rangers right now, besides like Adam Fox. I mean, it is truly uncanny. Like, there's not going to be many times where he's going to leave his assignment. I mean, he's just super stable in his own zone. So that's really what you're getting out of him. You're getting a super stable defensive defenseman who has an active stick, who's not going to really leave his assignment. He actually knows what he's doing in the defensive zone, unlike most of the Rangers people. And he really doesn't. To me, it didn't seem like he rushes himself when he has the puck. I mean, he's looks like he has five eyes on his head.
Yeah. I mean, what I'll say is, from what I understand about Gavrikov, is that he is much more defensive minded than he is offensively. I know he does put up some points. He's not as desolate in the offensive zone as, let's say, Ryan Lindgren was. He'll put up more points than Lindgren, but where he truly excels as a hockey player is just his big, gritty defense. He's a big player, very defensively minded. You said it perfectly. He's never going to be missing out on his defensive position, and that's what I think makes him a perfect pairing with Adam Fox. And one of the reasons why Adam Fox has not been able to succeed as well as he has in the last couple of years. Adam Fox is an offensive superstar. Yes, he's a great defenseman who has won a Norris Trophy, but he is an offensive defenseman at heart. Fox plays best when he has that flexibility and the freedom to carry the puck up and try to generate some offense after making an elite defensive play. The last couple of years with a defensive liability in Ryan Lindgren hasn't really been able to do that. He played a little bit with Keandre Miller, wasn't really able to do that. Now he finally has a partner where he can take the puck and do something with it without feeling nervous that the guy he's leaving behind to defend the defensive zone is going to screw up and cost the Rangers a goal. And I feel like that has definitely hindered Fox's abilities a lot in the last couple of years. And I'm really excited to see this new top pairing. I know a lot of people are reporting like the number one reason why Gavrikov came to New York and left money on the table is to play with Adam Fox. He's really excited to play with Fox. So we'll have to see what this new top pairing is going to look like, how they're going to perform. But I know I personally am very excited to see it. Obviously, as I mentioned in the intro, there are still a lot of other moving parts going on at the moment. I checked Twitter just a minute or two ago. I did not see anything on the Keandre Miller trade. I didn't see anything about Will Cooley. So as far as those two go, we're going to have to come back with another episode, perhaps later this evening or early tomorrow morning. But as soon as we get word on that, we'll be back as quickly as we can. It'll certainly 100% be posted immediately on the Fireside Instagram. So if you want some immediate news, immediate reactions, be sure to check that out. If not, me and Will, possibly Colin, possibly even Anthony. Anthony's been talking about making a comeback. We'll be back soon to bring you some more Rangers news this summer. But until that day or hour at this point, who knows? Make sure you guys like, subscribe, ring that bell so you miss notification. Once again, be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And once again, be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Fireside Rangers. But have a good one. See you guys soon. And let's go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers.